Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Yes, sir. Welcome back.
Welcome back to Plug In with Avi and Kyle, Internet's Odd Couple.
And
We are here with our wonderful guest. She's been, I mean, it's totally, you can totally tell she's got her radio chops because she's been in there chopping it up with us.
She's the only one common
Yeah,
between us.
exactly. Yeah. I'm so nervous talking to her still.
Are
I mean,
you
we're
still
at the end.
nervous?
I got butterflies.
Aw.
Felicia, the poetess Morris, is with us today. She's going to stay with us through our news segment, which we're going to get into right now. We're kind of combining our digging in the dirt and news today because it's something we haven't addressed yet because we've been stuck on ISIS and stuff, and I think it's really time to kind of jump into
Take
this.
it locally.
Yeah, so, we all know the names. Ferguson with Michael Brown, New York with Eric Gardner, and now 84-year-old Kang Wong in New York as well.
What happened
gosh, I
there?
didn't hear
I
He
didn't hear
was,
that.
they were trying to stop him from jaywalking, but he only speaks, I think, Chinese and Spanish. And the cop took his ID and was walking away with it. And he's like, hey, but he can't communicate.
Yeah.
And they
He
took him,
was how old?
84. And they took him to the ground, split his head open. He got
Jeez.
like 13 staples or something in his head.
Wow.
He survived.
He survived.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But, 84-year-old man, that's barely surviving.
No,
Yeah.
that is terrible.
That's like on the...
And he didn't make any threats or any.
No, he
threatening
was
gesture,
it was
walking,
lack of
jaywalking.
communication.
Yeah.
He was jaywalking. He walks every day. He owned a business in, I think, a restaurant, I think in Brooklyn or something for a long time. So it's not like this was
Yeah.
just some
Some guy.
whoever. It
Yeah.
it doesn't matter who it is. It's
Yeah.
jaywalking.
Yeah.
Come on. Okay, yeah, we have laws for that
Yeah.
so people don't get hurt. But you don't throw
But
a
in New
guy to
York,
the ground.
was it New York?
Yeah.
New York, everybody jaywalk. I don't know if you ever been
I
in
think
New York.
that according to the article, he was there's a crackdown because I guess within a 3-block area or something, the last couple
Oh.
weeks there had been 3 people hit by cars.
Oh, okay.
But still, but we'll
They drive
get-
terrible.
yeah.
yeah. So these are just 3 of the higher profile ones
And then the 12-year-old that was killed in
Ohio.
Cleveland.
in
Well,
Ohio.
a couple of weeks ago when Gardner, what's his name?
Eric Gardner.
Eric, Yeah. When I saw the story, I went and did a little research to see other countries like us. What did they do? How many shooting they have? In the U.S., they had something like about 800 police shooting and about 500 killed by police. In England, they had 1 shooting and the guy was injured only.
Yeah.
1 police shot 1 person.
No,
Well,
isn't in England? Where
They-
is it where they don't have guns?
I think that's
England,
right?
they
Yeah.
don't carry guns,
Of
but
course, and the numbers
the
go
police.
down.
Well, the problem is the police that patrols doesn't carry gun, but they have a special police with guns when they have emergencies.
Oh,
So the idea behind it, it's the police is there to keep the peace and to be
And to
with
be
the-
helpful.
Yeah,
Peace officers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
peace officers, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm bringing this up. Obviously there are many different things we could get into on this topic about everything from race to militarization of the police. But I was really thinking about it yesterday, and we have these gun control laws that they're trying to increase in California.
Yeah.
It's really difficult, but it's like there's no prerequisite to become a police officer. You just
There is. Though.
There is?
There is.
yeah.
Well, how do these guys?
You
these
at
guys are
least
like that?
you can't be an officer if you have bad credit. That's a
Really?
prerequisite.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what about a bad temper? Because that's what's happening.
I'm sure that they have some psychological tests that
Yeah.
cops have to
Well,
go
evidently
through.
the guy that shot the 12-year-old had
Yeah.
a psychological problem, and they didn't pick it
Yeah,
up.
like
in the
I
test.
feel like you're hiring these guys, and don't get me wrong. We obviously need police, but there has to be something more you can do to ensure, because you're giving these guys a gun and a basically free reign.
And
And there's more and more cases where people are dying because they're taking liberties with their
Okay.
yeah. Thanks, Avi.
yes,
With their authority, you know. So what?
Sorry
And the
about
thing
that.
too that I've heard a lot of people coming out and saying is like, why is the president going to spend all this money on these cameras when these guys have been caught on camera and still no, action or punishment has been made? I actually saw the extended version of the Eric Garner cell phone video yesterday, and I was absolutely amazed because I just saw the little the part where they just had him in a chokehold, but prior to that, it was obvious that these police officers were harassing him on a regular basis.
Exactly.
And they're saying that he had just broken up a fight. By watching him, you can tell he was probably a pretty cool guy that lives in the neighborhood, and that he's constantly being harassed by these cops. That was clearly murder.
And when they even put the chokehold, he was going like
well,
this.
he was
like,
saying
he didn't push.
You can hear him. I mean, we're talking about cell phone video from 10 feet away. You can hear in his voice from that far on a cell phone microphone. He can't.
Yeah.
You could hear that.
Yeah.
You're telling me the cop on top of him couldn't hear that?
First of all, the cops are trained to kill. I don't know why they train them to kill. When somebody comes out with a knife, they can shoot him in the leg, they can shoot in the air, or tase him, or pepper spray him.
Yeah.
But to them, it's like pull the gun like they are in Iraq or in Pakistan, Afghanistan, fighting the Taliban. One guy makes their own move.
Well,
boom, boom,
and that's
boom.
what I was saying. It's like, we've had incidents where, like the one where the guys were in Hollywood, I think, robbed the bank, and they're just walking through shooting the police.
That's back.
And that spurred this, we need to get the police stronger firearms.
That's fine. But these guys were armed with body suits
but it's
and
like
all.
there's no, it seems like some of these guys have lost their gauge for what's appropriate action for that time. Like what your rules of engagement are there for a reason. And escalated force should become with an escalated threat.
Well,
you just don't jump on a guy's back because he's bigger than you. I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
right.
Especially when 4 of them were out there,
Yeah.
4 or 5
Well,
of them.
I didn't see the whole extended version, but I did see where the cops were talking to him. And before anything could have even gone down, 2 of them were already posturing around him in I would have felt threatened. You know?
Yeah.
And what about the guy in Pasadena? He's a homeless guy. They grabbed him about a year ago. He was supposedly, somebody reported that he was breaking into a car, and they took him, and the police literally put the gloves on, and he said, "You going to get and whatever."
Oh yeah.
Put him down. They broke his skull, punching him,
Yeah.
and then they walked away.
There was the guy too where the cop pulled him over. He hopped out of the car, and the cop was like yelling at him, "Give me your ID," and he went in to go get it, and they just opened fire on him. Did they hit him once?
Yeah, they
like
hit him.
10 shots hit him once.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's something is going wrong here, and I don't know if it's in the selection process or if we need to be more involved. But people are so concerned about personal firearms, but here we are handling
these people firearms.
Lives. I mean, you are handing these people lives.
Yeah, one thing I am a little bit happy to see is that how the nation is coming together and protesting.
Absolutely.
Black, white, all races are getting involved. Because there's one thing, like when I'm watching on TV and see other parts of the world and they are just outright not having the injustices, throwing over the government and all those types of things. I admire that because in the United States, I feel we're a little bit too comfortable,
Absolutely.
And so now with all this happening, people are really starting to get fed up and fighting. Like I went to the protest. I protested a couple weeks ago for the Mike Brown verdict. And I was so happy to see that there was just more than black people out there on the streets of LA. There were whites, there were college students. I was loving seeing all the young people being active, and Latinos and Asians. So I'm really happy to see that people are really starting to stand up. And
that's what put the spotlight during the Vietnam War. All the kids and schools and colleges that went out there, it didn't matter black, white, or green. And it was something not really what the country wanted, and the same thing in here. But these cops, most of them are hired. It's a nepotism. Their friend and their cousin and their whether they are good or bad.
It could be generational too. The father, the son, the grandfather.
Whether they are good or bad, that's irrelevant because it's part of the whole system is corrupted, and they go there with their egos bigger than this room. And because they have the badge and the gun, they automatically try to think that they are the emperors.
It's not all police officers.
Majority of them.
But there's we're obviously seeing that there's something going wrong.
You don't need to shoot Brown 12 bullets. He's not a terrorist with a suicide bomber. You try to stop him.
You don't need to chokehold a guy who's obviously having a hard time breathing either, and you don't need to throw an 84-year-old man to the floor.
Or a kid to shoot before you ask.
You know what it is, and it comes back to again the militarization of the police. I was in the Army for 10 years.
Yeah,
and all the training is reactionary.
Yeah.
This happens, you do this.
Yeah.
You
Well,
can't
because
train-
your life
Yeah.
on the line, you're in a battlefield.
Well, you're training your police the
Yeah.
same way. What's going to happen? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You got to, the police officer, I mean, if you look back at police officers represented throughout history and television and cinema and stuff, there's a lot, more and more, they're like bad boy style. Where back in the day it was Andy Griffith style. You know, he was there to
But
help
they were-
settle disputes, to help people.
But police back in the old days, they used to patrol on foot,
Yeah.
go to the local grocery store, to the local store.
And they would have relationships with people in the community.
And I think
Maybe
that's
there should be
important.
some more community
Yeah.
policing,
Yeah.
more community and police
Yeah.
events together. I know that maybe, let's say the early, mid 90s, that after the LA civil unrest happened, the community became, they came closer together.
Yeah.
There was less gang violence and so on. But there was also police officer
On the-
basketball games,
Yeah.
baseball games with some of the gang interventions,
Yeah.
the gang groups and stuff like that. So maybe more policing and police should come out patrol the communities that they grew up
And
in.
instead of driving in their car. And not only that, the police back in the old days used to know the kids and know their family. And they would go,
And
hey,
that's exactly
Johnny.
what you were saying, and I agree completely. If you're going to have, I mean, I understand that there's these huge neighborhoods that these police are kind of responsible for, but if you have more
that are from that neighborhood.
from that neighborhood or more community interaction, like you said, a lot of these things.
How
can
do
be
you get
alleviated.
from the neighborhood if the only way to get to the police? Now they change it in Los Angeles a little bit. If only the way you get into the police and to the academy, only if your brother and cousin and uncle in there and you have the leg ahead of everybody else that applied.
Exactly.
That system need to be changed, and maybe even the union
Yeah.
to realize that there's a problem. You cannot just militarize these guys
No.
and send them. And when somebody makes their own move, boom, put a bullet in
that's
his
like the
head.
first. I mean, a gun should not be your first resort.
No, that's why they have tasers and they have the pepper
The rubber
spray.
bullet.
Yeah, or I mean, you don't even need that. A lot of stuff can be taken care of by doing what a police officer is supposed to do: keep
Yeah.
the peace, go out there, find out what's going on.
But we also,
So-
acknowledge that, it's a risky job being
It
a
is.
police officer.
Yes,
It's
I
not.
mean,
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Everybody says the police is risky. A taxi driver in New York or Chicago, it's riskier.
Okay.
Trust me. So let's not.
Yeah.
You know
you
what
know
you're
what you
signed
signed up
up.
for.
Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
and,
I mean, that's true.
and
You know
you
what you
have
sign
the
up
power
for.
and the armament to
Yeah.
protect yourself.
But if a guy's signing up for, I'm out there to clean up these streets, that's the wrong guy for the job. You want a guy who's there to serve. He's
Yeah,
there for
yeah.
his service.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Just like in the military, I would rather have a guy who is less aggressive next to me, but is there because he's there to serve and to help, than the guy who, I want to kill some terrorists.
I'm going to shoot them, dice them.
But that's the ones they get, though. I wouldn't
yeah.
jump there.
Yeah, you don't
Those
got
are
to
the
tell
ones
me.
they want.
You know, and while we're talking about this, I wrote it down. So, the biggest one I can remember, the biggest thing with police that I remember, I'm only 35.
Yeah,
Um,
that all
would be the Kent State incident that happened in the 70s.
during the
They shot the
Vietnam War.
protesters,
Uh-huh.
yeah. But now, it's almost like a daily thing. Like I don't know if you guys heard about the UC Davis where they had all the kids handcuffed.
Yeah,
And the cops just walked by and pepper sprayed all of them anyways.
Yeah, They fired.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Why?
Well, a couple days ago, it was a story with a cop killing somebody in New York. And the guy was with a knife. He already hurt somebody.
Yeah.
And the police told him, put the knife. And the police was in control. Told him, put the knife. The guy put the knife, got closer to the police, turned around, and picked up the knife again. And the police shot him.
Yeah.
It's justifiable. He already committed a crime.
Yeah.
The guy is bleeding. They had to do something, and it was justifiable.
Yeah.
But what they did with the other ones, I don't think so, and especially the brutality of it. And then you get these.
Well, they're like you see these videos. We're gonna go over, guys, just so you know. We see these videos, and these police officers are like animals in these videos.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
And then you get the grand jury, and they rigged it in a way where
Well,
they give them one side of the story.
it's-
Yeah,
not
the
both
Mike
sides.
Brown is
Yeah.
a total mess.
Rigged.
The Mike
Yeah.
Brown grand jury was total. I read also, or I forget what news guy was on MSNBC, where he pointed out that originally when they were handing out the rules and instructions to the grand jury, that they actually handed them out an old handout with a law on there that was no longer relevant to today's laws, which was... I think it was you can shoot somebody when they run. There was an actual law that when you run, they can shoot you if you run. So this law was still in that paperwork that they had handed out to the grand jury.
That's a
but
mess.
just before they were getting ready to make the decision, they go, "Oh, we're sorry, we gave you the wrong information."
Oh,
That
after
law
they
is-
read it.
Yeah, after it's kind of hard to get. You can't take that back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like
so
that.
and I think some other stuff, some
They
recent
never,
stuff
they
came
never,
out as
and
well.
they
so.
never question the cop because his statement to the police, what happened, and his questionnaire was totally different. Nobody challenged it.
Yeah.
Like they
well,
didn't
I
tell
mean,
him.
didn't they also? It wasn't even in the area where the shooting happened, was it? Didn't they do the grand jury like?
No, it
didn't
was
they
it
move
was
somewhere?
around there somewhere,
well-
maybe the Capitol or whatever.
And I read today that they presented a false witness.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's terrible.
Yeah, they did rig it in every way they can, and then when the district attorney came, we did this, we did this.
Yeah. And then you know, then you have, I don't know. I get emotional about this stuff because, you know,
We are in the 21st century.
you
and
have we're still
discriminating.
doing this. We're
Yeah.
still worrying about. I mean, I wrote it down here. I mean, you have, you know, these pundits and these people on the news saying, oh, you know, racism is gone and it's color blindness and these incidences have nothing to do with race, but that's a lie.
Yeah.
It's gotten worse. Well, it's more, I think, visual now. I mean, it's obvious. I think a lot of people are upset because we have a African-American president, and so I think that a lot of it might be because of that.
And
Like,
Literally, according to some of them, he's literally from Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know that he got more threats against his life than all the three previous presidents combined.
Yeah.
Combined.
Well, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The only way to change is to change yourself. You know, you can't, and we're taking a stand against it, just like we did on a previous show. We said it. You know, we're not standing for that stuff. People, human beings are human beings. It doesn't matter. And you know, you have these people, like I said, you know, on Fox or whatever, saying, "Oh no, it's not racism.
Kool-Aid
Racism's
drinkers.
dead. We don't see color." But that's a lie. Everybody sees color. It's what makes us who we are. It's what makes us have
Who
the ability
listens to Fox?
to understand. Some
Fox,
people do.
Fox is
Yeah,
Kool-Aid
you're
drink.
right.
You know?
They have
no,
followers.
you're right. You're right. I
But
know.
humanity is
Rush Limbaugh will
humanity,
not be
regardless
making
of
$40
who you
million
are.
if they do
Right.
that. Yeah.
And humanity is put together by everyone being different, and having different backgrounds, and understanding that about each other. And for people to just outright say that is disturbing to me.
All right. Let's go to a more positive note.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough on that. I got way more. I wrote down a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we wanted
We'll have to
Felicia
have you
here
back
to
again.
plug in her
Yeah.
and how we can help her and who else can
I'll tell you what,
step
I will
in.
go on her radio show and finish up this conversation.
Oh, yeah, you guys are more than welcome as soon as I'm set up.
Yes.
So okay, so let's take a deep breath. Let all that negative know that we're all in this together, and that justice
we
will be
need-
served eventually.
On a
Yes.
private note, I mean, on a positive
On a
note.
positive
Yeah.
note.
Okay, well,
Well, plug
Yeah,
your
plug-
tell us
show.
all
about it.
It's
Tell us
your,
about
well,
you're
I'm
on.
in the process of building Morris Media Studios and Morris Media Lab. Morris Media Studios will be a professional media studio that will have capabilities to do pretty much what you're doing here at OC Digital Studios with being able to broadcast and record internet, radio, and TV programs, as well as we mentioned before, the Morris Media Lab will focus more on teaching kids about new media and broadcasting. Our goal at Morris Media Studios is to become a content production house. We
Nice.
want to produce, discover stars, hosts, personalities, and create shows around them and pitch them to major and mainstream networks. the Morris Media Lab, we want kids to be able to come in and learn everything from hosting shows to being behind the scenes, the technical part. So on Saturdays, my vision is to every Saturday morning, maybe from 9 a.m. to 1.
Not from 2 o'clock in the morning.
The kids will come in and actually host their own shows on an internet kids radio network. So that's the immediate, the vision. But right now we're in the process of raising funds to get equipment.
Okay.
So on Monday, December 15th, we will be launching a crowdfunding campaign on Indigogo. So when you go to Indigogo, you'll search Morris Media Studios, or you can find us on Facebook under Morris Media Studios, or you can follow me on everything under OG Poetess to stay up on what we're doing. But we want to build something really cool and unique in the Crenshaw Lamert Park area of Los Angeles, which is really the heart of the Black Cultural Center in the Los Angeles area. And Crenshaw High is less than a mile there. So we want to do some partnerships with the high schools in the area and just really give kids a positive alternative. But
yeah, absolutely.
My thing is radio. I like to create. I like to produce. So we want to produce some outstanding shows that either go viral on the internet or we can pitch to some networks. It's just more than coming in and streaming shows. We want to create some new stars and have our own voice and our own perspective to counteract a lot of the stuff we see in the media.
Yeah, and we're going to help you put it together.
Thank you. I can use all the help we can get.
And
you can email me, too, if you're interested, at contact@morrismediastudios.com.
Perfect.
Okay,
we'll flash that up on the screen.
Yes.
So we're going to help you put it together. But I would also like to volunteer some of my time if you have me down there to help with the kids.
Yes, that would be
I would
great.
love to do that.
And we will talk to some of our vendors to see if we can get them to donate some equipment. I can and Mr. Goldstein.
Yeah, we got some people that I think would love to be involved in
Yeah,
that.
if they come down and see, I mean, this could be really a great place for especially
Not
kids.
could be, it is going to be.
Yes, you're
a great
right,
place.
you're right.
Positive mental
Yes.
health.
Absolutely going to be a great place. I get chills just thinking about it. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. You know what? You're not just doing this, like you said, to make money. You're giving back to the community. And there's no greater thing you can do than to help out the future generation.
Yeah, if I can live and travel and have nice surroundings, I don't need no money.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. There you go. Well, that is all for us today. Thank you, Felicia.
Oh, man, it's
Thank
been
you
a
for
blast.
coming.
I really enjoyed you
that
guys.
was
You
awesome.
guys are so cool.
Oh, you see, now I feel better about myself. Still nervous. We're finishing up, and I'm still nervous. This has been Plug In with Avi and Kyle, episode number 11. Thank you for joining us. See us next week, and I guess that's it.
Yeah, well, don't forget about the open house.
We're having an open house. What day?
The December 17th from 3 to 6. And if you are out there, you want to learn about how to do a video, how to do a podcast, podcast.
We're gonna have Brainstorm in the house.
Yes, we are going to have
some other people.
Brainstorm. Vidigo to be
Vidigo's going to be here. So come check us out. That's on what day?
December 17th.
December 17th, 1 to 3.
2014, from 3 to 6.
3 to 6.
3 to 6.
Close enough. Well, if you
And
come
we
at
are
1, we
going
won't
to have
push you away.
food, refreshments,
Yeah.
and all the crew.
Yeah,
and
water
everything.
and saltines.
That's it.
All right, guys.
That's if you're good.
That's it for this show. We'll catch you next time. Peace out.